Many men go through relationships feeling blindsided, hurt, or confused when things suddenly fall apart. The harsh truth is that heartbreak rarely happens overnight. It often starts long before the breakup, in small, subtle patterns that go unnoticed. Men typically enter relationships believing in fairness. I give love, loyalty, and effort, so naturally, I should receive the same in return. It's a comforting mindset, one that feels logical, rational, and safe. The problem is that relationships don't always follow logic. Women are guided not just by emotion, but by deep-seated instincts shaped over thousands of years. These instincts prioritize security, opportunity, and long-term advantage over the idea of balance or fairness. Attraction, commitment, and loyalty are influenced by factors that are often subconscious. Men who rely solely on words, promises, or perceived effort can easily miss the underlying patterns that reveal what's really happening. Understanding these dynamics isn't about becoming cynical or distrustful, it's about clarity. Awareness allows a man to see the subtle signals, recognize risks before they escalate, and take control of his emotional and relational life. By seeing relationships for what they truly are, rather than what we wish them to be, men can protect their time, energy, and self-respect. In this guide, we'll explore 5 critical truths about women's instincts in relationships. Recognizing these truths early can prevent heartbreak, help men maintain dignity, and empower them to create relationships where loyalty, respect, and mutual investment are genuine, not assumed. One of the hardest realities for men to accept is what relationship experts call monkey branching. Simply put, many women rarely leave one relationship without already having another branch ready to hold on to. Just like a monkey doesn't let go of a branch until it has grabbed the next, women often ensure emotional and practical security before ending a partnership. This doesn't mean all women are manipulative or cruel. It's an instinct rooted in survival. Social pressures, biological drives, and personal security often encourage women to avoid being alone. What feels sudden to a man, the abrupt breakup or emotional withdrawal, is frequently the result of weeks or even months of planning on her part. She may tell you she needs space, seems confused, or suggests a break. Men interpret this as reflection or indecision, but in reality, it is often a period of transition toward another connection. Why it happens? Social conditioning. Society judges women harshly for being alone or openly pursuing multiple options. Biological and emotional security. Ensuring continuity reduces risk and provides a safety net. For men, the impact is disorienting. One day, everything seems fine. The next, the relationship ends and another man appears in her orbit. What feels like a sudden earthquake is, for her, a carefully calculated and timed step. How to respond? Awareness is your power. Don't allow yourself to become the backup plan. When a woman ends a relationship but attempts to maintain emotional connection, it's usually a measure of self-preservation, not ongoing loyalty or love. Respect yourself enough to step back gracefully. By recognizing monkey branching, men can protect their dignity, avoid unnecessary pain, and maintain clarity in their relationships. Accepting this reality isn't about cynicism. It's about understanding human behavior and staying 2 steps ahead. A man who sees the board clearly never gets blindsided. Actionable insight. The moment she releases one branch, don't wait for her to swing back. Let go, maintain boundaries, and focus on your own life and growth. True self-respect comes from clarity, not hope. Another truth that blindsides many men is hypergamy, the instinct that drives women to seek the best possible partner. Unlike men who are often taught that loyalty, effort, and sacrifice will naturally be rewarded, women don't evaluate relationships on a balance sheet of emotional deposits. In other words, giving your all does not guarantee loyalty or long-term commitment. Men often fall into the trap of thinking, if I love her, support her, provide, and sacrifice for her, she will stay. The reality is far different. Women instinctively compare their current situation to the alternatives available. If they perceive a better option, your years of effort, devotion, or financial and emotional support may suddenly hold little weight. This isn't cruelty, it's biology and instinct at work. Why hypergamy matters. It is not personal. Perceived value, not fairness, drives decisions. Relationships are evaluated in context. Who offers security, stability, and opportunity, not how much effort has already been given. Common mistakes men make: trying to earn loyalty through endless giving, believing sacrifice equals emotional credit, remaining in a relationship without recognizing when they're no longer the best option. The better approach: stop trying to compete for attention or loyalty. Instead, invest in yourself. Build confidence, independence, and strength, becoming a man whose presence and lifestyle naturally attract loyalty. Growth, purpose, and self-respect are far more compelling than endless effort or validation seeking. Actionable insight: focus on your own value and direction, not on how much you can give her. When a man understands hypergamy, he adapts instead of resenting. He stops bargaining for love and starts commanding loyalty through presence, self-worth, and leadership. By internalizing this, men reclaim control over their emotional lives. They stop over-investing in relationships that no longer serve them and ensure that their attention and energy are reserved for connections where loyalty, respect, and appreciation are mutual. Key takeaway: your worth isn't measured by sacrifices or emotional deposits. It's measured by the life you build for yourself. A man of value doesn't chase, he attracts. Another reality that catches men off guard is that women often maintain multiple options simultaneously, though usually discreetly. While men's casual dating is often visible or openly discussed, women tend to explore alternatives quietly. This doesn't necessarily mean dishonesty. It's often a survival strategy. Attention from multiple sources provides emotional and practical security, reducing the risk of being left without support or companionship. How it works: women may manage a mix of romantic, emotional, and practical connections at the same time. Some may be casual, others may hold long-term potential. While a man assumes exclusivity, she could be evaluating options quietly, deciding which connection brings the most value in terms of companionship, stability, or excitement. Why it happens: social judgment. Openly pursuing multiple partners can carry stigma, so discretion is common. Security instinct. Maintaining options protects against being left empty-handed. The impact on men. Many men mistakenly equate attention with commitment. Texts, calls, or time together are often interpreted as loyalty, when in reality, they may only reflect temporary availability or interest. This can lead to overinvestment and emotional vulnerability if the man assumes he is the sole priority. How men should respond: avoid assumptions. Never take exclusivity for granted. Watch for consistent patterns of behavior over time, not isolated gestures. Don't confuse emotional attention with priority. Actionable insight: your value comes from knowing your worth and maintaining independence. You don't need to compete for attention or prove your loyalty endlessly. Recognizing that women may keep multiple options helps you protect your emotional energy, set healthy boundaries, and invest wisely in relationships where your value is reciprocated. By understanding this pattern, men can stop over-investing in someone who hasn't made them a priority. Awareness isn't about mistrust, it's about clarity and self-respect. When you see the board clearly, you can engage in relationships without losing yourself or your dignity. Another truth men often overlook is that women's emotional and physical engagement can wane faster than men's in long-term relationships. While men often settle comfortably into routine and stability, women may experience restlessness and boredom much sooner. What feels safe and predictable to a man can feel restrictive or unfulfilling to a woman. Research shows that women initiate a majority of breakups and divorces, often because the spark, novelty, or emotional excitement has faded. Men may interpret a steady routine as a sign of stability, assuming that loyalty and attraction are secured. Meanwhile, a woman may begin seeking novelty, challenge, or deeper emotional stimulation elsewhere. Why this happens: men often equate stability with success. while women continue to seek growth and excitement. Emotional and physical desire in women can decline faster once the initial honeymoon phase ends. Without ongoing stimulation, routine can feel monotonous rather than comforting. Common signs men miss: reduced engagement or enthusiasm in shared activities, frequent daydreaming or looking for excitement outside the relationship, emotional withdrawal or planning for the future that doesn't include the partner. How men can respond. The key is to remain dynamic, ambitious, and interesting. Growth isn't about changing who you are. It's about continuing to evolve, pursue goals, and cultivate excitement. Flirtation, playful challenge, and curiosity in the relationship help maintain attraction and prevent emotional stagnation. Actionable insight. Avoid complacency. Don't assume that stability guarantees permanence. Instead, foster a life full of personal growth, curiosity, and passion. When a man continues to develop himself, he keeps the relationship vibrant and mutually engaging. Understanding this difference in emotional pacing between men and women allows you to anticipate potential issues before they become serious problems. By staying present, engaged, and constantly evolving, you ensure that the connection remains strong, stimulating, and mutually fulfilling. One of the most uncomfortable truths for many men is that women cheat at nearly the same rate as men, but the timing and visibility are often very different. Society often paints men as the primary cheaters and women as victims, but real-world data and experience show that women are just as capable of stepping outside a relationship. The difference lies in discretion and strategy. Women rarely cheat impulsively. Most often, infidelity occurs during specific windows, moments when they feel emotionally disconnected, underappreciated, or unfulfilled in the relationship. While men might be more visible, overt, or careless in their actions, women tend to approach it quietly and carefully. To a man, life may feel normal, while she may be exploring an emotional or physical connection elsewhere. Why women cheat: emotional neglect or lack of attention from their partner, desire for novelty, excitement, or emotional stimulation, opportunity and timing often aligning with periods of vulnerability or dissatisfaction. Key difference from men. Men's infidelity tends to be noticeable. Women's is strategic, subtle, and hidden. This makes it harder for men to anticipate or detect, often leaving them blindsided. How men should respond. The goal is not paranoia or control. Trying to monitor or restrict her freedom only fosters resentment and distance. Instead, men should focus on becoming the partner she doesn't want to risk losing, someone strong, confident, ambitious, and self-assured. Influence and presence rather than suspicion or control naturally command loyalty. Actionable insight. Invest in yourself, your growth, and your life's purpose. A man who cultivates strength, confidence, and emotional stability reduces the likelihood of losing a partner, not by controlling her, but by creating a connection she would never want to risk. Understanding this reality doesn't make a man bitter, it makes him aware. Awareness empowers him to see relationships clearly, respond appropriately, and maintain dignity while avoiding illusions of security or permanence. By recognizing that women are capable of infidelity just as men are, he builds a life where loyalty is a natural choice rather than a forced expectation.